This is Mike Buchman of Solid Ground, and we're here at the Unite to End Homelessness area of the Fremont Fair. It's Father's Day weekend, and we've spent much of this weekend working in partnership with Habitat for Humanity of East King County to construct a house for a needy family that's involved in Habitat's program as a way to house a family, low-income home ownership, but also as a way to bring our community together around the issue of housing homeless people and needy people. Tom Granger, who's the Executive Director of Habitat East King County, and Tom is holding up a wall panel right now. I thought we were building a house, Tom. What are you doing here?
We are in the process of taking this house down so that we can move it up to Snoqualmie, where it's going to be re-erected on its final foundation, our final location in Snoqualmie. So we've finished building the house now. This afternoon we're taking the house apart in panels, and tonight we're going to load it up on a truck and bring it up to Snoqualmie.
And who are these wonderful folks that are doing the work for you?
This is community citizens, volunteers that heard about this opportunity and came out and helped us build it yesterday and today, and now this is another group that came in this afternoon to help us take the house down.
Now, we're in Fremont right now. This house is going to go out to Snoqualmie Ridge. King County is a big place. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the impact that your particular affiliate of Habitat has, and what else is happening in King County with this kind of work?
Well, what's not known is the real housing crisis in King County. 14% of the population fits into the population that we serve, which is making less than 50% of median income and not being able to ever think about owning their own home. Less than 1%, actually 0.2% of the housing stock is actually affordable for families making less than 50% of median income. It's a huge gap, and that the market is not really closing that gap. So what Habitat for Humanity does is we partner with families that are making less than 50% of median income, that are currently living in substandard housing, and we provide an opportunity for them to buy a home. Through the support of United Way, Solid Ground, Google, Master Builders Association, and on and on and on, this community, this very generous community, we are able to build homes and sell them to low-income families.
So we work at Solid Ground with families that are in a homeless situation on the street. You're, in a sense, working to prevent homelessness from families whose home ownership or stability is really teetering on the cusp, and you're providing probably the most affordable housing in our community.
I do believe we're the only organization that can provide housing at this rate. And, you know, our families do come out of homelessness, a number of families. I tell you a great story. I went to a graduation Thursday night. One of our homeowners who unfortunately lost her husband to an accident and found herself living in her car with her 2 children, homeless. She gathered herself together, eventually got into transitional housing, heard about Habitat for Humanity, and was able to buy a home through the Habitat for Humanity program. Her 2 children now are growing. Her son graduated from high school last year, and she made a commitment to herself and her family that she was going to get her GED. And Thursday night I went to her graduation, and I got to tell you, it was a great feeling for me, and I know for her as well. Her daughter graduates tomorrow night from high school as well, so the 3 of them are graduating within the course of a year. Very exciting for us.
It's a great story. And I know that these houses are sold to the families. They have the opportunity to earn equity. What's a house like this end up being sold to a family for?
We sell the houses at what it costs us to build them. So the fact that there's 90% of the homes are built with volunteer labor, we're really able to build these at a very low cost. The materials and that little bit of professional labor that we do need to either put a roof on or to put a furnace in brings the cost of the house to just, this 3-bedroom house, for instance, to just under $100,000. That's the actual cost of the improvements. What Habitat for Humanity of East King County has done, and we did this back in 1998, was establish a land trust through, again, the partnerships with the different cities and with people like Weyerhaeuser and Quadrant. We have been able to acquire land, and what we do then is keep that land in trust. We rent it, we lease it to a homeowners association for $1 for 99 years, with a renewable lease as well. And so we don't sell the land. And so it costs us $100,000 to put this house on it. We sell it for $100,000 to the homeowner.
If a similar house was built in this neighborhood on Snoqualmie Ridge, what would that go for on the market today?
Well, we don't think there's anything comparable to a Habitat for Humanity house, but something of a similar size in a similar neighborhood. I actually go around the neighborhoods and I pick up the little flyers that are outside these homes for sale, and I saw one that probably is of a similar size for $379,000, and that's in Snoqualmie. In Redmond, we're building townhouses there, and it was a great project in that it was an old Coast Guard housing site. The city of Redmond was able to buy the land that was surplus by the federal government, and they put together a very creative community. There's market rate townhouses, there's a nice city park, there is transitional housing, and Habitat for Humanity home ownership homes. And again, there we're selling a 3-bedroom home for about $100,000, and just next door, those market rate townhomes, same thing, same size, sell for $359,000.
It's amazing to think what you can do with volunteer labor and how you can bring down the cost. The other thing that I've been really impressed with in my exposure to what you guys do at Habitat is that every single person that's volunteering has a transformational experience in their own right. And so they're not just professionals pounding out nails for their job and building houses as fast as they can. They're putting their hearts into this. They're putting their social activism and their social concern in. And that must come through in these houses and in the homes and in the experience that these families have as they get to move into these homes.
Right. Now let me turn the tables here and let me interview you, one of our volunteers at this event. Mike, I saw you here earlier pounding the last nail into this house. I saw you moments later take one of those carpenter's pencils and write a note on this house to the homeowner. Tell me what that experience was like for you.
You know, even though it was only one nail, it felt great. And I did not get the opportunity to do a full shift here, but I was pleased and honored to be able to put my one nail in, and even more so to be able to write a little note and welcome a family home and offer what little blessing I can offer to them for their future success. It's a great opportunity for people to be engaged in something that's really meaningful.
Would you like to come out and do it again?
I plan on it, yeah. And I plan on bringing a crew of folks from Solid Ground out. We got to finish this house, and we're committed to that, and we can't wait to come out and help you guys out on the ridge and do that work.
Excellent, excellent. That's actually in this process, one of my most fulfilling moments, and boy, I get a lot of them. When I talk to these volunteers every morning and I tell them about the lives that they're going to change, every day for me is a fulfilling experience. But one of the most fulfilling in this particular house build was when I sat down with Solid Ground and United Way, and they had come in and said, hey, we want to do a demonstration at the fair, we want to build a house. And I said, you know what, we want to put a family in a home, and so we want to build a house. Would you commit to actually finishing this house? And everyone around the table said, absolutely. We want to make sure that there's a family in this home as soon as possible. And so that was the moment for me when I realized that the community, again, was stepping up, making that full commitment to not just have a fun time at the fair, but to put a family in a home. That's what does it for me.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to welcoming a family in here, whether it's Thanksgiving or later this year. It's going to be a good time. So that's it from the Fremont Fair here at the Unite to End Homelessness House Build, Habitat for Humanity and United Way. And we are thrilled that this house is going to be out in Snoqualmie Ridge a little bit later in the week. We'll finish this house up over the course of the next few months and welcome a family here later this year. Thanks again from the Fremont Fair. I'm Mike Buchman for Solid Ground.